Assalamualaikum, welcome and hello to the channel. Who am I? It does not matter until the end of this video. Today we have one of the most amazing bikes that have ever been produced in the human history. This bike right here is way bigger than Civics and Accords, and today we are going to review it. So that was a little bit of cinematics of this bike. That was maximum I could get out of my GoPro Hero 7, which is not basically designed for cinematic shot, but that's how I could get it done. So this is the Treet 70, and which is basically totally similar to Honda CD70. Even the decals of this bike are totally similar to the Honda CD70 that was produced in 2012. So let's dive into the history of 70 first of all, and let's get to know how it is way bigger than Civics and Accords.
The history of Honda Motors started in 1946 when a young man, Soichiro Honda, was visiting a friend. He stumbled upon a generator engine designed for wireless radio used by the former Imperial Army. So, होंडा मोटर्स जापान की तारीख शुरू होती है 1946 में, जब सोइचिरो होंडा अपने दोस्त से मिलने जा रहे थे और रास्ते में उनकी नजर फॉर्मल जो कि सबका जापानी आर्मी थी उसके वायरलेस रेडियोस के लिए इस्तेमाल होने वाले जनरेटर पर पड़ी. The young man immediately came up with the idea of attaching that 50cc generator motor to a bicycle, और उन्हें उस 50cc engine को एक bicycle से जोड़ने का ख्याल आया. And to do that, he acquired a small building in Hamamatsu city, and a sign was hung outside the front door that boldly announced Honda Technical Research Institute. और उन्होंने इसको अमली जमा पहनाने के लिए एक बिल्डिंग ली और उसके बाद बड़ा बड़ा लिख कर लगाया Honda Technical Research Institute. And finally, in November 1947, the Honda launched the A-Type, which entered production and immediately put on sale. और इस तरह सबसे पहला Honda की प्रोडक्ट 1947 के नवंबर में निकली जिसका नाम होंडा ए टाइप रखा गया और उसे फौरन ही सेल पे पेश कर दिया गया। द ए टाइप हैड अ कैस्ट एल्यूमिनियम फ्यूल टैंक विद अ टीयर ड्रॉप शेप, और उस ए टाइप का जो फ्यूल टैंक था वो बिल्कुल वैसे ही टीयर ड्रॉप शेप का था जैसा कि आज के 70s में आता है। मिस्टर सुचिरो होंडा अपॉइंटेड हिज वाइफ Sachi as the test driver of his company. Seeing a woman riding a motor-driven bike became a sensation, and the rest, as they say, is history. Mr. Soichiro Honda ने अपनी वाइफ सची को अपनी कंपनी के लिए एज अ टेस्ट ड्राइवर अपॉइंट किया, यानी कि वो बाइक्स उनकी चला के चेक करती थी, और एक औरत को एक मोटर से चलने वाली बाईसाइकिल चलाता देखकर पूरे जापान में एक सेंसेशन पैदा हुई, और उसके बाद जो कुछ हुआ वो आपके सामने है। They went on producing small engine bikes and had gone global. फिर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता उनका ये बिजनेस सारी दुनिया में फैलना शुरू हो गया। Then a company in Pakistan named Atlas Autos Limited signed a technical assistance agreement with Honda in 1963. और इस तरह पाकिस्तान की एक कंपनी Atlas Autos Limited ने 1963 में होंडा जापान के साथ एक डील साइन की, which took place in Tokyo, जो कि टोक्यो में हुई। There, Mr. Yusuf H. Shirazi from Atlas Autos and Mr. Soichiro Honda both were present. और उसमें Atlas Groups की तरफ से यूसुफ एच शिराजी साहब और होंडा की तरफ से मिस्टर सोचिरो होंडा खुद मौजूद थे। In 1963, Atlas Autos Limited launched a series of models Honda C50, Honda C90 and S90 which gained immense popularity among the customers, and the journey to become the nation's ride started. Honda ने 1963 में Atlas Autos Limited के साथ मिलकर पाकिस्तान में Honda C50, Honda C90 और S90 लॉन्च किए, जो कि निहायत ही मकबूल हुए और एकदम से कौम की अवामी बाइक बन गए। In 1976, the company launched two production models, the fuel-efficient CD70 and high-performance CG125. Due to their unique features, these models became the company's flagship products. 1976 में उन्होंने पाकिस्तान में CD70 और CG125 लॉन्च किया, जो कि एकदम से उनकी सबसे मकबूल प्रोडक्ट्स बन गए। In 1979, Payoneer Limited, an associated company, was incorporated with its plant facility at Sheikhupura for increasing product distribution in Punjab. And in 1982, Payoneer Limited commenced commercial production at its Sheikhupura plant. 1979 में Payoneer Limited नामी एक कंपनी को होंडा की बाइक्स को पंजाब में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करने के लिए होंडा एटलस ऑटोज के साथ जोड़ा गया, और 1982 में पायोनियर लिमिटेड ने शेखुपुरा प्लांट पर अपनी खुद की प्रोडक्शन शुरू कर दी। In 1983, new Honda CD70 with Econo Power engine was launched and became an instant hit. Up till this point, Payoneer and Atlas were working as separate companies. 1983 में CD70 का नया डिजाइन का इंजन, जिसे Econo Power का नाम दिया गया, वो लॉन्च किया गया, जो कि एकदम से ही पहले मॉडल की तरह मशहूर हो गया। अब तक Payoneer और Atlas ऑटोज जो हैं वो अलग कंपनीज के तौर पे काम कर रही थी। In 1990s, Honda Japan's board of directors approved the scheme of amalgamation of Atlas Autos Limited and Payoneer Limited to consolidate Honda motorcycle operations in Pakistan. The name of the new merged company was changed to Atlas Honda Limited. 1990 में Honda Motors जापान के एक बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स ने Payoneer Limited और Atlas Autos Limited को जोड़कर एक नई कंपनी बनाने की मंजूरी दी, जिसका नया नाम Atlas Honda Limited रखा गया, जो कि आज तक पाकिस्तान में मौजूद है। The company continued to expand its model lineup with the launch of new Honda CD70 in 1991, when the shape of the fuel tank of the 70 was once again changed to teardrop, which still comes to this day. और इस तरह 1991 में सबसे लेटेस्ट शक्ल का CD70 लॉन्च किया गया, जो कि आज तक बिल्कुल वैसा ही आ रहा है। In 1993, a new Honda CD70 with latest CDI technology was launched, और इंजन में combined discharge ignition system नामी टेक्नोलॉजी 1993 में CD70 में लॉन्च की गई। It was 2011 when Honda Atlas surpassed the 90% localization mark, और 2011 में Atlas Autos Limited ने पाकिस्तान में Honda के 90% पार्ट्स बनाने की सलाहियत को पूरा किया। In 2012, Atlas Honda became the first motorcycle company in Pakistan to have all its models compliant with the Euro 2 emission standards technology. 2012 में Atlas Honda Limited ने अपनी तमाम तर बाइक्स को और गाड़ियों को Euro 2 emission standards पर शिफ्ट किया। In 2013, company introduced CD Dream, the modernized model of CD70, and Atlas Honda signed an export agreement with Honda Motor Company Limited and initiated its export exports to Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Middle East and Central Asia. और 2013 में कंपनी ने CD Dream नामी 70 की मॉडर्नाइज्ड वर्जन का इफ्तिताह किया, और फिर Atlas Auto Limited ने Honda Motors Company Limited जापान के साथ एक डील साइन की, जिसके तहत इसे बांग्लादेश, नेपाल, श्रीलंका, खलीज और वस्ती एशिया में एक्सपोर्ट किया जाने का। Honda Atlas has recently claimed to make 101 new changes in the engine parts overall, and there is a massive upgrade of graphics in 2022 मॉडल। और Honda Atlas ने पाकिस्तान में उनसे 2022 के आने वाले 70 के अंदर 101 नए चेंजेस करने का दावा किया है, और उसके साथ सबसे बड़ी अपग्रेड जो कि ग्राफिक्स की अपग्रेड है वो भी दी है।
So that was just a little bit of history of the 70, and that's how I showed that why it is way bigger than Civics and Accords. If it weren't for 70, there would be no Civics and Accords, because Honda would produce any such thing after producing a 70. So that was a little bit of history. So now get to know the CD70 a little bit, and let's get a highlight of its various parts and features. This is the security lock. Now this is an aftermarket lock which has both the lock and ignition in it, as you can see. Otherwise the ignition is on the upper side of the speedometer, and here is only the security lock. This is the cylinder head cover on the outside.
which has these amazing fins on the outside to cool down the angry piston using the upcoming air. Now you can have an idea how the Honda got the shark fin antenna on its car. This is the engine assembly that is connected to cylinder head, and it contains everything that drives the bike, including piston, a wet clutch, and a magnetic coil for ignition and charging the battery. Piston is placed in a boxer engine-like configuration and moves exactly like this, where it is cooled by the incoming air in this manner. It can rev up to a maximum of 7500 rpm and produces 5 horsepower or less. This is the spark plug which usually gets stolen if you park your bike outside in megacities, so you have to plug it out and put it in your pocket every time you leave the bike out. And this is the carburetor which mixes air and fuel. This is the rear brake pedal, which happens to be a drum brake in the rear tire. This is the Kickstarter, which leaves you with an extremely painful bleeding heel if it's angry at you or if you are wearing flip-flops. This is the right tapa. We don't know what West calls it, but I would stick to what we call it here, and we call it tapa. Now you can see the point where frame joins the rear suspension. This is the exhaust muffler which is connected with the engine at this point. This is an aftermarket footrest for rear passengers that are usually more than 2. You can also see the telescopic rear suspension. At the back you have carrier, rear brake light, indicators and registration plate. So the tires are 2.5 inches wide at the rear and 2.25 inches at the front with 17 inches spoke wheels. When you're going 90 kilometers per hour, it's just 2.5 inches of rubber between you and death. This is the point where rear suspension is connected to the upper side of the frame. This is the chain cover which has chain connecting to the engine at this point, and some frame elements are here too. This is the left tapa which houses the battery and intake connecting to the carburetor through here. This is carburetor. This is fuel switch to control the flow of fuel. This is the choke for the fuel. These are headlight, horn and indicator control at the handlebar. So that's pretty much all the highlights of the 70 walk around.
So that was just a small walk around of 70 of its certain parts, and just I tried to show what do we have on 70 after decades of research and development. Now let's talk about various aspects of 70, and let's get to know why 70 is so much of a deal in Pakistan.
So the very first thing about Series 70 is its ubiquity. The Series 70 is ubiquitous like bacteria, which means it can be found everywhere in Pakistan. You can find it in cities where thousands of identical 70s are usually parked outside a commercial building, and also in the remotest regions of Pakistan. You can also see Taliban riding these bad boys in videos when they enter Kabul. Despite its smaller size and a tiny piston, it can carry 3 adults weighing between 60 to 90 kilograms each to a hilly area where roads are steeper than 45 degrees. People in hilly areas also use them for carrying their entire month's ration, some other vegetables and a few toiletries. That's what we have been doing this for several years, and it never left us stranded.
CD70 is highly economical. It can go more than 60 kilometers in a liter. I have personally checked and I confirm this. And it doesn't need to be maintained at all. Some people usually change oil after 6 months, which it uses 700 milliliter oil only. A tuning can mostly cost between 300 to 800 pkr, but if you don't do its proper maintenance, it doesn't mind at all and it keeps running just fine. Also, 2012 and later models have Euro 2 emission standards, so it is undoubtedly one of the most economic vehicles on the planet.
It may not be sturdy and strong like the Honorable Mr. Peter Griffin, but it can carry 3 adults on the seat like most of the bikes, or a tiny family with a husband driving, 2 toddler kids at the front, a daughter behind the driver, husband, and a baby carried by the wife, which is not dangerous at all. No one can imagine its off-road capabilities by looking at it, but with its fairly high ground clearance and simple design, it can go anywhere where a Toyota Land Cruiser even can't sometimes. It is like a trail bike when it's off-road, and it works amazingly fine on-road too, which is amazing in itself. There are 2 types of 70s, one officially produced by Honda which sells out at 86,900 pkr right now, which translates to $520 when $1 equals 167 pkr. And the other type is the models produced by local companies using Chinese parts or locally manufactured parts, which are totally similar to Honda produced parts in terms of size or shape but differ in terms of quality. They sell between 50 to 60,000 pkr, translating to $299 and $400 approx. One can easily get a CD70 on installments by paying 10,000 pkr as a down payment or $60 and 3,000 pkr or $18 as a monthly installment with a slight markup. If we refer the 70 as the bro machine, it won't be false. It is more than just a bike for Pakistani and Kashmiri people. Most boys have their CD70s or simple 70s in their teenagers, and since then it sticks with them for decades. A boy would be learning to drive a 70 when he's just 15 years old and would be driving his family of 6 one day, that too on the same bike. People in Karachi and Lahore literally drive hundreds of kilometers on 70s in search of work, like food delivery guys or people selling something in different regions of a mega city. For them, it's more than just a machine. They believe them to be a part of their family, and if a young guy feels down sometimes, just a casual drive in the city or a hillside proves to be helping a lot. Due to these reasons, I, along with hundreds of thousands of middle class men, would love to call CD70 as the bro machine.
So I hope you have been enjoying the video so far. I hope that I haven't added anything that was quite boring. So my name is Abdul Moiz Yeager and I belong to Muzaffarabad, Kashmir, and I have just graduated in Masters from Government College University Lahore. So thing I just want to talk to you guys is that I am quite low on resources. I had enough savings to be able to buy a GoPro Hero 7 and a small PC. And the thing is that I currently have a i5 3rd gen PC with a GTX 750 Ti, and it was very difficult for me to edit and render 4K videos on it. I may need a little bit of assistance from you guys because I have to do something in order to increase my resources and to be able to continue this channel. So I am asking you guys to support me. I want you guys to contribute to the channel by paying little bit as less as 100 rupees or $1 to the channel. I have listed all my accounts, bank accounts and Jazzcash into the description, and sending 100 rupees or $1 to the channel won't make any difference for you, but it would make a huge difference for me. As harsh as it sounds, if you want to contribute to the channel and I am unable to continue doing this, there won't be any other video on the channel, and I would have to sell everything that I have bought and to move to another city and look for a job. So I am asking you guys to support in any way possible. Please contribute to the channel, please share this channel, please comment on this channel, and please tell other guys that you have seen this video, and if you think that I deserve, please contribute to the channel. Thank you so much. Hopefully see you once again.